welcome to Secure the Bag. It's your boy A-Dub.
And the boy Strizzy, what's good, Select fam?
What's good? What's going on?
You back, baby?
Yes, we back. We back again to talk live about these playoff games. Only 4 games this weekend, but we're getting down to the nitty-gritty. It is a divisional round, and we got some great matchups that we definitely want to cover with you all today. We got a couple people checking it out live as well. We got Unk in the building. I just already commented. Hello from Texas, and also Pops as well. And apologize, gentlemen, for the delay a little bit, but you know how that goes sometimes. But we're here. We're ready. Let's get it popping.
Yeah.
We're gonna go over last week really quickly. Just do a quick little recap. But as we always like to start off with saying is this is not actual betting advice. But first up, we had Seattle Seahawks and the San Francisco 49ers. The 49ers did their thing. And then also, let's see, next up, it was Chargers Jags. Jags with the big time comeback to win that game. Chargers with the ultimate letdown. Then we had the Dolphins and the Bills. And so, again, I just want to throw out that this is a recap like of against the spread as well. So the Dolphins actually did cover the spread, even though they were big underdogs against the Bills with that rookie quarterback, and they came back and made it a game late. So the Bills did win, but the Dolphins covered the spread last week. Then we had the Giants, the Giants Vikings, and Strizzy, you called this one. You were all over this one. Giants not only covering the spread as underdogs, but winning the game outright. Yep. So great job on that one. Then we had the Bengals and the Ravens. Again, the Ravens did cover the spread despite being down to their backup quarterback as well. And I'm curious, Strizzy, we'll find out a little bit later, though, but if you might be hesitant about the Bengals moving forward, too, based on their participation last week. And we also got the Cowboys going on the road, covering the spread as the favorites and winning outright. So that was our little recap of last week. And then Unk says Giants could sneak up on teams this playoff season. Yes, we definitely want to talk about that, see what he thinks about the next matchup. Pop says he's got a little gymnastics on. Very interesting. Okay. Go Mizzou. Always repping for Mizzou out there. And then we also got Grace Williams in the building.
Grace Williams in the building.
That's what's up. Thank you, Grace, for being in the building. That's cool. And Pop says, give me some football. Yeah, he's like, I got nothing on right now.
Really? That's funny. Gymnastics.
So that was our recap of last week, those against the spread winners. And so all that being said, we had Strizzy coming in at 3-3 and me 2-4 against the spread. So Strizzy, you'll lead the way for us on this round of Secure the Bag. But good job with that. But yeah, there was a couple ones that kind of threw us out there for sure.
Definitely, most definitely.
The Jags was the biggest one. I was like, man, I knew I
just believe that one. The other ones were kind of like, okay, like the Ravens are still a good team. You know what I'm saying? They could, at the end of the day, make it a game. I was really surprised that the Jags won, though.
Yeah.
Being down as big as they were.
So, but we are still doing the what are we doing? Oh, the picks on Yahoo. My bad. And so Unk did go 6-0 on the money line picks on Yahoo. So shout out to Unk on that one. Got a Super Bowl square, and we are going to do this one more time too. It's really going to come down to the tiebreakers since there's only 4 more games. Yep. But you can log onto the Yahoo, go into the description of this video, and you can join our Pick'em League and compete for Super Bowl squares. So that's what it is. All right, let's go ahead and get this thing popping. Let's roll through it, and we're going to take a little bit more time. We took the timer off for the playoff round so we can really get into these games a little bit more. But Strizzy, you're going to lead the way, and you're going to start us off with this first one. We got the Jags and the Chiefs.
Yeah,
the Chiefs are favored by 9, and the over/under is 53.
Yeah, man. Nice little feel-good story for the Jags last week. I think that was the Super Bowl last week. I really think that the Kansas City Chiefs actually cover this spread at -9 this week. They're at Arrowhead as well, and they're really rested. I'm also thinking really big game, like 2-touchdown game for Travis Kelce as well. It's funny, he's been a little, I won't say absent as of late, but for some reason he hasn't been putting up what we expected him. So I'm expecting a really big game from Kelce. And I think they get them by 10 for sure.
Yeah, I feel you. Welcoming Anthony Weston to the show as well, right on time for that Chiefs pick. He says hashtag Chiefs Kingdom, let's go.
Yep.
And I'm with you too. I think that the Chiefs will win this game, and I think that they will win it pretty handily. The Jags, like you said, their Super Bowl was the last 2 weeks, beating the Titans to win the division, and then, coming back against the Chargers. But I think that pretty much took, everything that they've got. So I think Kansas City by 10, and I think it could go over depending on like how bad the Chiefs want it to be, I guess, or,
right.
Because I do think that the Jags aren't going to give up. So, Kansas City really can't let them like back into the game at all. They need to keep going. So, we'll see what's up with that. But Unc says KC by 7. Okay. Anthony Weston reminds us that Jags are worse in the league versus tight ends. So Strizzy, as you were alluding to, Travis Kelce potentially have a big day there. Bob says Kansas City by 14 plus. I could see that happening too. Weston says Jags 31-10, so still has them covering the spread. So
I can see something like that too.
Yeah. Dang, but that would cover the spread, but actually go under too. So we'll see. We'll see.
KC definitely does struggle with spreads all year. That is for sure. So keep that in mind.
Yeah. But after that bye week, I think that they want to come out and show what's going on.
Definitely,
for sure. So
they definitely not the Chargers. They don't take care of business. That's for sure.
Exactly. All right, so I think that's good. Then I think we're gonna go ahead and lock it in. We're both going Kansas City with the big spread. I know these playoffs has been super tight, but I think if there's any lopsided game, this is the most likely to be that. So,
for sure.
So we'll both go with Kansas City against the spread there, and then let's move on into the second game that we have tomorrow on Saturday. We have the Giants at the Eagles, a common or like a like opponent, right? NFC East rivals. We have Philly favored by 7.5, and the over/under is 48.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this one's pretty interesting too. Another division rivalry game, right? So both of these teams know each other very, very well. I think this game is really going to come down to, as far as like the Eagles go, it's going to really come down to how healthy Jalen Hurts is for me. The New York defense isn't very good. Kirk Cousins cooked them last week, even though they lost. He really cooked the defense last week. And we already know what the Eagles defense is like and that running game is like. So I got the Giants as far as the spread goes, but I'm looking at Eagles to win this game. And I'm thinking over the 48, but we'll see.
Got you. Okay. Yeah, some good analysis there. I do want to welcome in one more person to the show, Bebop Jones, coming in with the Bang Bang Niner gang. Okay, I see you. We'll be talking about that game in just a minute, but yeah, I'm with you on this one. I think that the Giants, they play the Eagles well. They're an opponent that they know well, and the rest was good for Jalen Hurts, but is that rest going to turn into rust as well? Because he didn't get the chance to kind of come back and get into momentum. With that injury being so late in the season. And we know that they had a couple of games in there that if he could have played, he probably would have, right? So that they could kind of lock up that number 1 seed sooner. So I think that they might be in a little bit of a trouble with this type of an opponent, also because the Giants can run the ball. And with both teams being like, running teams, I think that the clock is going to go by very quickly. And that the Giants, have a chance to kind of hang in this game if they make it a short game. So I'm going to go with the Giants as well against the spread, but I think this is really going to end up being Philly winning, by like 3 or 4 in kind of a low-scoring, close game that could come down to an end. So, so that's what I'm seeing too. I think we're going to both go ahead and lock it in with the Giants against the spread. It's going to be a close one though. Let's go to the comments and see what we got here. Unk is going with the upset. He says the Giants by 3.
Okay.
I can see that happening if Daniel Jones plays well and also if Saquon Barkley, right? Just because this team wasn't really expected to be here. Now all that pressure's on the Eagles, and they haven't really been playing well recently. So that's an interesting one. Pop says Eagles by 10, so he's not phased. He's going with the Eagles against the spread. And Anthony Weston says Eagles 27, Giants 20. I could see that too, going on the underside. and then
Same.
but still the Giants potentially covering that spread. So
A lot of upset people if they take the spread Eagles, you know what I'm saying, win by 7, that half point screwing them. Like I can see that happening too, man. Vegas be like that.
yeah, I can see it happening too. And these are the odds live as of Friday evening, but that could change. We could see that come down to like an even 7 or even a 6.5 for the Eagles, depending on what happens at the sports books for the Giants late. But those are our 2 games for Saturday, and we'll go ahead and move into the weekend or to the Sunday games with a good one. There's a bunch of good games, or two really good games on Sunday.
Yeah,
But
for
first
sure.
off, we got the Bengals at the Bills. The Bills are favored by 5.5, and the over/under is 49.
Yo, man. Sorry. Dog here. Yeah, I feel like the Sunday games could easily be Super Bowl games. You know what I mean? These games are going to be really, really. These games could easily be the AFC, NFC championship games, in my opinion. So definitely going to be good. I do like the Bills in this one. I think these 2 teams, as well as the Chiefs, are going to be battling out for the next couple of years. They all 3 have really, really great quarterbacks. But I like the Bills here. I think they kind of clean up how they played last week. It was looking like a blowout at the beginning, but then they let the Dolphins really come back in it with some bonehead plays. But they have to clean it up. They can't play that. They can't play that way against the Bengals team, and Bengals too. They also let a struggling team stay in the game as well. So I think both of those teams want to clean things up a little bit. I think the Bills have a really, really good defense and a explosive offense. But I like the Bills, man. I think somehow they get it by a touchdown, maybe 6. Maybe it even goes into overtime and they score the touchdown in overtime for 6. But I like Buffalo at -5.5.
Got you. Yeah, I'm with you. I think that Buffalo comes into this game, extremely motivated with everything that's going on, but also just with not having the chance to play the Bengals a couple weeks ago, right? Too,
Mm-hmm.
with those circumstances, and also kind of how they played last week, right? They
Yeah,
had a opponent that knew them well, but they kind of struggled against it. They should have handled. I
yeah.
think that does come into play, and that adds to it a little bit. It's crazy to think though that this Bengals team, was just in the Super Bowl last year, and they have more of, kind of that history, or at least that recent history of having success deep into the playoffs. Obviously, the Bills have been to multiple AFC Championship games, so I'm not taking that away from them. But I just do think that it almost seems that the Bills are the hungrier team in this situation, right? That they have more to prove.
They're so
Um,
close every year. Just keep getting beaten up by the Chiefs. You know what I'm saying? So it's, who knows? This might be their year. They're going to get to the AFC Championship again, and you know what I'm saying, get let down by the Chiefs. But
Right.
they are.
Right.
They're
But
a
I'm
good
with you
team.
kind of. I do see them. I do see them going forward and and making it through this game. I'm actually though going with Cincinnati on the spread,
Yeah.
only because I think it's going to come down to 3 or 4 points at the end of the game. So I see them, even if it's like they're down 10 or they're down, 12, and then they score late to kind of
Uh,
get it close and then try to go for onside, but don't get it, something like that. But I feel like something's going to happen to try to, narrow the gap there. So I am going to go with the Bengals against the spread
I
on
feel
this
you.
one. So this is where we'll differ here. We got to make it interesting.
Make it
We got to see
interesting
what happens. So I don't know. Actually, I shouldn't say that. I don't know what your other picks are going to be, but I at least we're different on this one. So
for sure.
um, let's go to the comments real quick and see what's going on. Unk firing off early. He says Cincinnati by 13. He
Dang.
likes Joe Burrow and that offensive attack to get back online this week and to really go out the Bills.
Yeah.
Um, Pop says
I'll
Bills
set
by
the opposite.
17. Bengals have O-line issues. I do agree. The Bengals do have O-line issues, and
Yeah.
that's going to hurt them. And I think that the Bills will try to pounce on that weakness. So let's see here. Anthony Weston's got multiple scores here. Bengals 35-31 if the Bengals win, but Bills 30, Bengals 14 if the Bills win. I'm shaky on the Bengals O-line. So he's kind of with Pops on that one. But that's interesting. I like that take. Either it's going to be a
Yeah.
blowout for the Bills or it's going to be the Bengals in a tight one, but he's still got the Bills scoring about 30 points either
Yeah.
way on that one. So
Yeah.
one thing I don't know though is I don't know about the weather in this game too. Hopefully it's not an issue, but I mean I know it's
know.
been cold all over the country.
Good point.
Um, so
Tennessee's used to cold too, though. So even if it's cold, they're used to it. So
true.
they play in that cold, windy weather as well. So there's no real advantage Buffalo. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Dang, they say that a little bit of snow is expected. It could be a slushy coat. Oh no. So hopefully that doesn't affect the scoring. That could keep it actually into
Keep it low.
a lower one. And Anthony
Mm-hmm.
West said there's a chance of snow in Kansas City too. Dang, I wasn't expecting that one, but it
Yep,
does get mighty cold there too. So
definitely.
uh, all right, so let's do this. We're moving right along here. We diverged a little bit on that one, and then moving into the Sunday afternoon, the late game. We had the matchup of the week for me. Obviously, I mean, I just
Yeah,
think this is so cool, so
bro. For me
exciting.
too. For me too. I
We
can't wait
got
for
the
this game.
Dallas Cowboys, America's team, at the 49ers. San Francisco's favored by 4, and the over/under is 46, which is the lowest over/under of the playoff games this weekend.
I don't know why. I feel like I don't know. This game, man. This game is so tricky, man. Like this game could definitely go so many different ways. You know what I mean? I think I'm taking San Francisco at -4. The last 10 games or so they've been playing lights out on both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively. Well coached. The running backs are healthy. Debo Samuel's healthy. He looked phenomenal last week. Um, and I love the way Dallas looked last week. They handled the Bucks as well they should. The Bucks suck. They're a bad team. You know, the NFC South, whoever y'all played last week, whether it been them or the Panthers, were going to get manhandled, and they took care of business. The thing that I'm a little bit worried about is kind of how bad they handled them. Are they going to kind of take that into? Are they looking at the Bucks like, oh, that was a really good team we just smashed? Or are they going to look at it like, no, look, we handled business the way we should have handled business because they're a bad team. And you can't look at the San Francisco 49ers that way. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean,
Right.
I think for Dallas to win this game, they're going to have to play damn near perfect, I think. You know what I mean? The Bucks are old, man. San Francisco's so young, and they're so fast. They're not going to blitz. They're only going to rush 4, so it's going to be a little bit different. But this game has shootout written all over it. You know what I mean? I don't think it's going to be too defensive in this game. I think it's going to be some pretty high scores. But I got San Fran in this one, man. Sorry, brother. Sorry,
No,
brother.
I feel you. I feel you. I'm actually going with Dallas against the spread. I think that Dallas is going to win the game, but I think it's going to be interesting. This may just be the Cowboys fan in me talking too, but
That's
I'm
cool.
kind of seeing that this is the time that Brock Purdy, the kind of luster comes off. And I'm really looking at Dan Quinn to make that happen. I think that if you have the chance to go up against a rookie third string quarterback, in the playoffs, this deep in the playoffs, you got to do something on defense to kind of slow him down, or at least take away some of those other weapons and force them to make him do, like have some longer throws down the field, right? Not the dinking dunking, not the screens, not the
Mhm.
West Coast offense that San Francisco runs so well. So we'll
Yeah.
see if they can do that. The other thing is too, I agree with what you're saying. The Bucks, that was a good victory. But again, I don't think that they're looking at it like that was the ultimate test, right? I think that was
Right.
just something to kind of get the momentum going and to
Yeah.
give them some confidence that they can do this. Um, Also, when we look at like between now and last year's game, it's like the pressure has flipped. Like it's like the tables basically have turned on where these teams were at.
Yeah.
From last year, it was the Cowboys that were riding high with the big record, with the home bye week, which San Francisco didn't have, but it
Yeah.
was more just the tables were turned. But now Cowboys are coming in with no real pressure on them. And just coming out and getting a chance to just really play and compete hard on the road and see what happens. So
Yeah.
I think that if the Cowboys offensive line holds up and the Cowboys can run the ball a little bit and not just have to throw,
Yeah.
and then also can protect Dak though when they do have when they do unleash their pass rush, then I
Hmm.
think the Cowboys can sneak out a victory here. But it's going to be a great game. I'm just really hoping for everybody's been talking about it, but it's like I want one of those early '90s matchups. Like I'm hoping that this is kind of what that's like,
Yeah,
especially with
man.
this team's like recent history, right? These two teams playing against each other just last year. So,
Exactly.
um,
Exactly. Like you said, man, they can't. I've said it. Like I have San Fran getting to the Super Bowl, but if Dallas gets through San Fran, I say they coast to the Super Bowl, man. Like,
yeah,
granted, there's only one game after this, but I really do think San Francisco is the most complete team in the NFC playoffs right now. So if they can put it together and get through this team, man, I think they get back to the bowl.
agreed. I think for me too, that's why I'm like, this is so exciting for me because it is all on the line. I think for the Cowboys in this game,
Hmm.
if they can play the way they have to play to beat a team as complete as the San Francisco 49ers, then
Mm-hmm.
they will be in the Super Bowl. Like, I'm not even worried about the next week's game because it would be a like opponent that we've already beat this year.
Exactly.
And I know it's silly to like try to look ahead like that, but I'm kind of feeling how you are. It's like this is that real championship game, or bust type of mentality for this game. And if they can get through that, negotiating their way to the Super Bowl will be a lot easier in a sense. So,
I mean, San Francisco's a totally different team than what they were at the beginning of the year. You know what I mean? Like their offensive line's healthy, McCaffrey's healthy. Not Bosa. What's the other kid's name?
Mitchell or what? Elijah
No,
Mitchell?
no, the other defensive line kid, Watt. Watt. So like even him just being healthy too, because he was out at the beginning of the season as well, missed a couple of games. Like this team is just so different. Like they got Deebo Samuel back last week, and he had a phenomenal game too in that one as well. So you're right, man. Quinn's got his he's got some game planning ahead of him. You know what I'm saying? But
right,
I think
exactly.
He's got to work it out for him. But I think they can do it. They definitely have the pieces on defense to be able to get something done. They just have to really this has to be the game, like you said, that like confuses Purdy. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to go out the rookie, show him some stuff that he hasn't seen yet, and got a chance.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Definitely. Let's go to the chat real quick. Unk says Dallas by 6, so he's rocking with the Cowboys. That's what's up. I appreciate all the support and the momentum we can get on the bandwagon. Let's make it happen. Pop says Cowboys by 6, Niners going home, so he has a similar one. Mm-hmm. Anthony Weston says San Francisco 24, Dallas 21. But if good Dak shows up, Dallas 20, San Francisco 17. And I could see that too. You know, if Dak can avoid turning the ball over, it's going to make a big difference. Mm-hmm. Pop says exactly. We should confuse and hurt him in terms of Purdy. I think that's what they're going to have to do. You know, put it on him and make it difficult on him. Anthony Weston says, I think Cowboys defense could give Purdy some problems. So I hope so. But Anthony Weston brings up another good point. Purdy hasn't made the mistakes that Jimmy G did every game that you can count on. And that's true. Jimmy G would have one of the reasons why he wasn't like the bona fide starter, even, potentially not coming back to the 49ers this year, was because he would always, just be the game manager, but nothing more, but Purdy has been that game manager, but done it flawlessly. So I give him credit for it.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, I mean, the dude's averaging about 250 passing a game. Like this, like the quarterback has been known for the last couple of years. You know what I mean? And I love the fact that it's funny. We talk a lot, and kind of going off topic a little bit. I talk a lot of like, not necessarily crap about Mac Jones. It's just a matter of like me not really believing in him too much yet. But I think part of his growth is actually being hindered by Belichick. You know what I mean? Belichick doesn't trust him to throw further than 5 yards downfield. You know what I mean? And when Purdy became that dude, Shanahan immediately was like, "You have the reins. Like, we're going to win with you. Like, we're not going to run the ball 30, 35 times a game. Like, we need you to be the quarterback." And he's really stepped up and done that. You know what I'm saying? Like when they were down against the Raiders and they had to come back and win it, and it didn't go into overtime. They actually won it in regulation. So. I think he's done way more than what they thought they were going to ask of him. He's been solid. So I agree with Anthony West as far as the Jimmy G stuff goes. That's why I've been saying for the last couple of weeks, like he's been better than Jimmy. You know what I'm saying? So
right. And they've already declared that Jimmy G is not going to get the reins back when he comes back. He's going to go back to that backup role. So,
dude, if Brock Purdy wins this game, I think you even trade Trey Lance. I hate to say it, but or you decide who you want as your backup. You know what I mean? Jimmy G or Trey Lance. But I don't feel like if he wins this game, there's no point in going back to either one of them. Even in the games Trey Lance has played, he hasn't really looked great.
Like
you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Kind of unfair to say because he's only played in like 4 or 5 games, but still, the kids look good. Kids look good.
Yeah. Yeah, most definitely. It'll be an interesting offseason for San Francisco again, right? But that's what I love about great coaching is it resolves all those issues. The coaching staff and the rest of the team is put in such a position to where like they can have that kind of rotation at quarterback, and they've still kept way above water and still been in a really solid team. So
exactly.
So that's great for them. Pop says, praise for
Pray for
good
that.
Dak.
Pray for good Dak. Yeah,
He also
right.
said, I want to hear Dak say this one's for Mr. Jones. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's kind of like how they were like, this one's for John,
Yeah.
So that's what's up. Anthony Weston brings up if the run game isn't going, they're going to struggle. And yeah, I agree with that. I think they're going to have to get the run game going to kind of loosen up those linebackers and they're definitely going to have to run first and then pass. So and protect the defense. They can't be letting the defense go out there over and over and over really quickly either. Can't be having the 3 and outs like they did the first couple of drives against the Bucks. So that's what's up. Okay, let's go ahead and lock this thing in, though. We're locking it in now. We're diverging on this one as well, but I'm gonna go with Cowboys to cover the spread, and then you got San Francisco by 4, them covering the spread with Brock Purdy and company. But yeah, that's gonna be a really good game, really good atmosphere, and that's what I'm really hoping for most is just like a great back and forth game. And
I don't know which one. I don't know which one. I might try both, but I might try for this game and the Bills and Bengals game for an overtime bet.
Oh yeah,
those odds are usually pretty high, and I just have a feeling that one of these games is going to go into overtime. I'm not sure which one. One will go into overtime for sure.
That is a good prop. Yeah, if you do the tie in overtime, or a tied at the end of regulation. My bad. That is a good prop always. Yeah. So that would be a fun one. But all right, we're locked in. Real quick, let's run back through these. We just talked about this when I got Dallas covering the spread. You got San Francisco. In the other Sunday game, we got hold on. My bad. In the other Sunday game, we're also going at odds on this one. I got the Bengals covering, but I do think that Buffalo's going to win just in a tight one. Yeah. You got Buffalo outright. And then moving back to Saturday, we both are on the Giants for maybe not an upset, but at least covering the spread, right? That Philly won't blow them out. But that'll definitely be a good one. And then we were both going for a Kansas City route of the Jaguars on Saturday morning to kick us off tomorrow morning. So that's going to be really exciting. And yeah, which game are you looking forward to most though? Can you decide or?
Yeah. Oh, dude, Dallas Niners, man. That's gonna be such a good game. I saw Mattress Mac put $2 million on the Cowboys too.
I don't know if that's a good thing or bad.
I know, right? That's real. That's real. But man, I saw him put some big money on your boys. But I just think, in my opinion, man, like especially as far as the NFC goes, I think Dallas and the Niners are definitely the 2 best teams in the NFC right now. I know Eagles had a really good season, but they've really fallen off towards the end. They just played the Giants 2 weeks ago in Hurts return, and he didn't look very good. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that was just him trying to help them lock up the number 1 seed or whatever. But that game could easily go the opposite way this time around. But I do that Cowboys Niner game looks like it's going to be really, really good, man. I'm excited for that one for sure.
Yeah, me too. That's what's up. Anthony Weston says Bengals Bills is what he's looking forward to most.
That's because he wants to know who he's playing.
What's that?
That's because he wants to know who he's playing next.
Yeah, exactly. He wants to know if he's going to Atlanta or not.
Right.
For the neutral site game. But no, that's what's up. Also, we are going to be doing the Super Bowl squares for sure. So you can jump in on the Yahoo. But also, if you want to purchase some, let us know. Hit us up, and we'll get that taken care of. I know we got Unk locked in for some. We got Pops locked in for some as well. And then pass it around if you guys have some other people that want to get into it. Because I definitely want to make sure that we fill that full 100-square grid. We got all of our weekly winners that are already kind of scattered across the board. And then we definitely want to make sure we fill the rest of that thing up. So that's what's up. Anything else you want to end us with, Strizzy?
Man, not too much, man. But I think whatever happens during the Super Bowl weekend, man, we need to get out there a little bit. Hit up a bar. Just the atmosphere when Super Bowl. I remember the last time I was here, I got to go out to the stadium, and they had so much stuff going on, man. Like we should get out there, Westgate, get a drink or something. You know what I'm saying? Just the atmosphere is always so dope. So. You know what I'm saying? If Pops is down, he wants to get out the house for a little bit or whatever. Marcus as well.
I think we should. I do want to do it. We might have to do something really extra special, but I think at the convention center They are doing some stuff, but I was thinking, yeah, like maybe the week before the Super Bowl, we might just have to do a live stream from like the NFL experience down there.
Yeah.
And maybe that's where we'll make our NFL, like our Super Bowl pick. You know what I'm saying? We could just do that like live on site. I was thinking do something like that, but yeah, definitely want to maybe go live from there, and then also maybe do like a little vlog style thing of us out there and just to show what's going on. So NFL experience is always super dope. So we'll definitely make that happen. Yeah. We'll get a little squad together for that. That would be cool.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
All right. Pop says went to the Super Bowl. So we not the last time they came, but 2 times ago. And I think that was like Eli Manning and the Giants, like the helmet catch year. So maybe like 08 or 09 or something like that.
Like that, yeah.
So I definitely want to get out and do it again. That would be super dope. So look forward to that. And then also hit us up on Tuesday night for the big show, episode 178 of Say Like a Champ. We'll definitely be reviewing the results of that and kind of looking forward to next week's playoff games as well. So that's what it is. Appreciate you rocking with us on a Friday night.
Always.
And also we appreciate our boy Mad Marcus as well out there, you know what I'm saying, doing his thing, always busy, always working. But he'll be back with us when he can as well. And I think that's it.
We'll
go ahead and shut it down. It's your boy AW.
And your boy Strizzy.
Peace.